Hi, my name is Briony Barclay-Ridge and I'm the General Manager of Workplace Super Solutions at A&P. With me I've got Steve Owen, General Manager responsible for member engagement, and today we're going to talk to you about A&P's financial wellness research. Steve, you and I both know that A&P undertakes our research into financial wellness every second year, and it's all about understanding how Australians think and feel about their finances. And interestingly, this year, the numbers show that Australian workers are feeling more stressed than ever, with numbers doubling since 2020. Can you take us through some of those drivers?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, look, the levels of financial stress have doubled since 2020, which is quite concerning. And what we found is the two key drivers of the increase in financial stress were employees' dissatisfaction with their current financial situation, perhaps not having enough money at the end of each pay cycle. And the second key driver was concern about future anticipated financial events. People worried about inflation, interest rate rises, or just the general market volatility.
And so it seems that financial stress has increased across all income bands, but equally what we're seeing is those in the community that were already vulnerable, such as single parent households, women and part-time workers are feeling that financial stress more than ever. Can you break that down for us a little bit?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, at a headline level, we found that 22% of working Australians are currently suffering from financial stress. But you're right, when you break that down into some of the key demographics that are at higher risk, we found that 1 in 4 women were suffering from financial stress. We found that 1 in 4 single parents were also suffering from financial stress, as well as 1 in 4 part-time workers. It's also interesting to point out, though, that those on higher incomes are not immune from financial stress. We actually found that 1 in 7 people earning over $100,000 a year actually suffer from financial stress as well. So while it is correlated somewhat to income, those on higher incomes are certainly not immune.
And Steve, with all that stress in the system, we've just had an interest rate rise, cost of living pressures increasing, and just global market uncertainty. Are any of us feeling confident?
Yeah, look, it's not all doom and gloom. What we found is that 36% of working Australians are feeling financially secure, so they're actually feeling good about their financial situation. However, that is down significantly from 50% just 2 years ago. That financially secure group were also those that were more confident about their financial situation. They were more likely to have received advice, and they were more likely to be on track to meet their retirement goals. But it's also interesting when you look at certain industries that were more at risk of financial stress. On the flip side, there are also some industries that were more insulated. And what we found is that those in professional, scientific or technical industries were less likely to suffer from financial stress.
And so we've actually talked about those groups that are impacted, but how's it manifesting? How's financial stress manifesting itself in our everyday lives?
Yeah, well, what we find from the research is that those that are suffering from financial stress are more likely to spend time at work dealing with their finances and more time off work as a result of that subsequent stress. And what we found is that employees were telling us that they were suffering from more burnout and less likely to offer any sort of discretionary effort in the workplace. And 21% of workers actually said that financial stress has actually impacted their productivity at work, and in particularly for younger Australians. So those under age 30 were also significantly overrepresented in terms of levels of financial stress. But the other ways in which financial stress manifests is in psychological well-being. So we know that people that are financially stressed, it impacts their psychological and their mental well-being. And it also impacts things like relationships as well as their productivity in the workplace.
So it's pleasing to see there's some signs of positive change with people accessing help. Do you have any tips on how we can better embed that in our everyday lives?
Yeah, look, there are some things that people can do. One of our biggest challenges is helping people translate that intent to take action, that intent to do something about their finances, actually take action. But there's 3 simple things that people can do to help improve their financial wellness. And the first is actually just getting your bearings. Where are you currently at from a financial situation? Understand where your money's coming and going, setting up a budget and establishing an emergency savings fund. The second thing that we know from the research is that people that have financial goals are much more likely to be financially well. So put yourself first, think about what's important to you, both financially and aspirationally, and then prioritise those financial goals. And the last thing that we found from the research was that those people that sought help were much more likely to be more financially well. So there's a range of resources out there, professional financial advisors, financial institutions that you rely on, as well as lots of government resources that are accessible for people as well. But we know that from the research that people that actually accessed professional financial advice were much more likely to value that advice over other sources of information as well.
So, Steve, it's really positive to hear that we've all got access to sort of tips and tools and education to help us with our feeling of financial wellness. Unfortunately, I think that brings our time together to an end. But I always like to take a key takeaway from these discussions, and for me, it's really pleasing to hear AMP's continued focus on financial wellness research, and that in fact we have tools and education available to all Australians to help them with their feeling of well-being.
Absolutely.